Ladies and Juscowicz. Oh yes, that is what the J in LPJ stands for. We rather seem to think so. Let's have a jolly good look and listen, and I'll tell you it again. Let's go. Surely it is pickup time, and we will start in the British position on the distorted or noisy channel. Lovely, into the centre. And onto the neck. Let's see if we clean up. And again, starting with the bridge pickup. Into the centre. And onto the neck. Super duper. Let's have a look round. So, do you remember this one? Do you remember this one? This is the one that I bought, the LPJ 2013, that should have had the black. This is 2013, isn't it? Hang on. Yes, so it is. There you go. You can have a look at the squirrel number. So yes, this is the one that I bought that had the 20 quid pickups in it. So, you see, you can be buying a Gibson to all intents and purposes, and the pickups might look like they belong in it. And if you've got a pair of, I mean, I'm sure that Tesla Sharks are fine pickups, but they're not Gibson pickups, and I paid the Gibson stuff, but, you know, as Maz described, I got it home and I can't prove anything, can I? So, anyway, at an expense, I've replaced the less than ideal ones. I was going to use a bad word then. I have replaced the less than ideal ones with a pair of Gibson pickups. We've got a 490 in the neck, and we've got a 491 in the bridge here, so 491T, 490R. Now, of course, also it had a push-pull pot, which was again non-standard on Gibson, so that has been replaced with their Gibson. So we're all Gibson electronics now. So it's Gibson through and through and through, just exactly like it should be, like the thoroughbred that it is. So let's have a look at the specs and whatnot. So first of all, aesthetically, this one now looks like the LPJ Deluxe because we've put the shiny chrome covers on rather than it would have originally had black covers. Anyway, stem to stern. So usefully tells us that the head socket is an LPJ and J is not junior by any means. These are full. It's a studio by all intents and purposes. You've got black keys, as you can see. They are Gibson Deluxe, in fact, and I'll tell you what, these are an absolute. If you're missing one of these, they are an absolute pig to try and get hold of. If you just need, one or another. Not that this one did, but it's something that I've experienced before. We have got, as you can probably see by the colour, it is very, very much a maple neck. And as we've talked about before, maple necks are not unusual things to see on Gibson Les Pauls. Of course, with it being a studio design in principle, there's no binding or anything like that, and which for me is always a happy situation. I'm not keen on. You've got a black Corian nut. A Corian, if you're wondering, is the same material that they'll make your kitchen worktop out of. 22 frets in really nice nick. Not had much play with this, and I do believe that those trapezoid inlays are in fact mother of pearl rather than mother of toilet seat. 3-position toggle switch in the usual place, does all the things it's supposed to do, and of course the pickups we have discussed, 490R in the neck and 491T in the bridge. The bridge, thankfully, the bridge and stop tail are original advanced plating ink items, and so we have had one of these before in this colour, and I think they call it chocolate. which is rather nice. Now this one is no case queen. It's had a bit of wear, and you can see, and I can't quite figure out why it's got this rubbing here, but certainly the thin nitro finish, like with all of these, is to promote early relicking, if you like, to give it that road worn feel. But the body certainly is weight relieved mahogany, and you can tell it's mahogany because you can see the grain. What else can we tell you? The speed knobs look like the original items, I would say, and the string height at the 12th fret is 1.25. Actually, it's just a shade below, which is, you know, just where we like it, really. And it plays really, really well. And these do have, well, actually, the last 2013 one that I had, it had a proper baseball bat of a neck. And this is bigger than, certainly bigger than a 60 slim taper. It's a meaty thing, but it isn't a real handful. Let's have a look at that profile there. I'd say it's a medium to large profile. Not large, but slightly more than medium, if you know what I mean. And it really is, and it absolutely is a joy to play. And oh my, I'm so happy that I put proper Gibson pickups in, because it's as though they're somehow matched to Gibson construction. So that is that from me and the Les Paul Juscowicz. Yes, Henry Juscowicz was the CEO at the time of these. I think these were one of at the budget end of the Gibson productions. But at the end of the day, it's a studio with a maple neck, and it's really, really nice. Very playable. Not a case queen, as said. But then again, that in itself is quite liberating. So, again, buying tips. You really want to know that you've got Gibson pickups. Otherwise, and luckily for me, you know, I had some, and so it wasn't terribly difficult. Although it was expensive to replace them and put the correct items in. So you really want to know. And by the way, I mean, ask questions. If you're in the market for a Gibson, make sure that if anything about it looks like, check on the original spec sheets. There's always a spec sheet for a Gibson about, even if it's from a Guitar Centre or Sweetwater or somewhere like that, if it doesn't fall within the Gibson Legacy Archive, which I think goes back to 2014. So do your research, make sure that what you're getting is what you're paying for. And the first thing that I always do when I get a Gibson home is I put the pickups out, because you can't. Can you do it in front of somebody? I don't know. If you've got doubts, perhaps, I suppose. But anyway, and certainly if I've had something posted, and as you know, I record the unboxing just in case anything went wrong, and I do also record taking the pickups out as part of the unbroken sequence, just so that, you know, we know what's what. So either buy from if you buy from a shop, you're golden, because if you get it home and it's got the wrong pickups in, then money back. But all of that's a faff, because really you want what you paid for. I waffled on way too long. So little bit of advice there. Hope it's helpful, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.